Hi Cancer, welcome to your weekly love reading. Let's see what's going on for you this week in terms of love. The Ace of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Lovers, the Knight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords in reverse. So yeah, to me this is definitely part of the soul contract, that there was a tower moment between you. It's to do with this mirroring, and it's to do with the alignment or misalignment of your energies. So inner child wounds were going on within both of you. I feel like when you met this person, you both had abandonment and rejection wounds. Ten of Swords. This is a card of feeling stabbed in the back. Five of Cups as well. A lot of loss in your past, of feeling as though things hadn't worked out in the way you wanted, perhaps in previous relationships. Feelings of rejection. Feelings of rejection in childhood as well. So I didn't reject you. I literally couldn't align with you when you expected me to heal your inner child wounds. So to me this person felt as though you were looking to them to prove that you're lovable. So you may have had a lot of codependency on this person, and I feel like for many of you this was, mirrored, like this person had the same wounds and therefore they were very codependent upon you as well and your opinion of them. So it's about that energetic alignment, because you hadn't healed the inner child wounds at that time, and we all go through this. Because you weren't in a place of knowing your worth and knowing that you are lovable just because you're born, you're automatically lovable, good enough, just the way you are right now. Because on a subconscious level, a part of you didn't realize that about yourself, and you may have experienced a lot of rejection in your life. You were subconsciously looking to this person to heal those wounds. So this person may have been emotionally unavailable, but you were looking to them to turn around and commit to you in order to feel that you are lovable after all. And some of you may have put in so much work, so much time and effort, and done so many things to try and get this person to commit to you. You may have chased this person. You may have overgiven to this person, and you felt like this person just walked away, or this person stabbed you in the back. This person didn't commit to you. But what I'm sensing is they felt that you weren't in a place of self-love. You didn't know your worth. So, whatever we believe about ourselves is what we manifest. So this person may have not recognized your worth because you didn't recognize it within yourself. Or you may have indirectly taught this person to treat you with disrespect because you had no boundaries, and this person was afraid of this spiritual awakening that was happening within your connection. The spiritual awakening calls us out of our comfort zone, but it can seem very threatening to the ego because it's about breaking down the ego, the fears. Facing the fears of abandonment, rejection, facing our wounds, looking inwards, taking responsibility for our own emotional well-being. All of those things are very difficult, and this is what this connection was calling you both to do. It was calling this person to step into this difficult path of healing, because it means all of the wounds are triggered up. And this person, and even you, subconsciously wanted to avoid that pain because, we believe the pain's gonna destroy us. But, when we experience a lot of emotional pain, it does eventually break down the ego. And so, the ego fears that destruction. It makes us think that we can't cope with this emotional pain, and so we try to avoid it. But it is that emotional pain that awakens us. It breaks down everything that's blocking us. But your connection was calling this person into that awakening, into this uncomfortable transition, into deeper ascension. And so this is why this person was in resistance to you. And it's funny, but it's like you've been in this energy as well of feeling that your worth is dependent on other people's opinions of you, whether you realized it or not. And so this has been such a powerful connection. It's really magnetically drawn you in. It's really, brought up, triggered tons of these wounds within you of not feeling good enough. But that's because it was meant to do that, because the Tower, it's a blessing in disguise. It's a breaking down of the ego, breaking down of the stories. So some of you have learned really, really important, really valuable lessons within this connection. This person walked away. You may have once and for all learnt your self-worth. You may have learnt the lesson that you don't have to give and give and give in order to prove your worth. Some of you have realised that you're good enough just the way you are, and that you deserve an equal, balanced relationship. And so that was a major lesson for many of you, and that is why this person left, in order for you to finally realise that. Because you may have had a pattern of, overgiving and seeking that love from emotionally unavailable people. You may have had a pattern through several kind of relationships and experiences with that kind of thing. You may have finally, grasped that lesson and had that realization that completely uplifts you, changes your vibration so that you're in a place of self-love, self-worth. You're in alignment with the love vibration, and that is what's going to attract this happy relationship into your life, whether it's with this person or with someone else. But you basically learn how to be happy and peaceful and in the love vibration within yourself as an individual. So this person didn't really reject you. It was part of the soul contract. They came into your life because your souls know each other on a higher dimension, and you had this agreement that this person was going to make you feel stabbed in the back. But this is a 10, which is about a rebirth. It's an ending of this old cycle, this old pattern that you've had throughout your life, so you can rise up into a new vibration, put a stop to that cycle, and build your life in a place of truth, knowing your worth. I can't be a substitute parent. I can't heal your inner child wounds. Don't make me responsible for that. It's not fair. So there may have been a lot of projection subconsciously onto this person. You may have wanted them to love you in all the ways other people didn't love you, or love you in all the ways you felt your parents didn't love you. But you subconsciously, you were wanting this person to love you in all the ways that you needed to love yourself. So to help you do that, some of you could possibly write a list of all the ways that you felt hurt by this person, by other people, by your parents. And then you could write another column next to that with all the ways you wanted to be loved or needed to be loved, or how you wanted people to treat you, what you wanted to happen. And then in the third column, that's where you realize all those things you wanted from other people. You write down how you can give those things to yourself. So for some of you, that's going to be a really powerful exercise that's going to change your vibration, so you know your worth, and then you attract people who know your worth as well. So this may have been a major realization for some of you, that you were subconsciously chasing someone emotionally unavailable because of childhood wounds. And some of you have, gone through that deep inner healing and awakening. I want us to be together, but we can't be as long as you insist it was all just my fault. So yeah, if you believe that it was just this person rejected you because they didn't love you and it means you're not good enough, and they were immature, or they weren't emotionally available, or they did this, that or the other which was really hurtful or wrong, or there was a lot of injustice. Basically, this energy is about, if you believe it's all about them, but you're not asking yourself, why did I attract this into my life? Why did I align with this kind of dynamic where this happened to me? You know, there's this need for you to look inwards and see why you aligned with that experience. Because, you know, this connection is almost like a messenger. This person came into your life to show you your own vibration. Because whatever, you know, manifests in your life, whatever happens, it is a reflection of your own vibration. So what is this experience telling you about your own vibration and what you need to heal within? You centered your whole world around me and our union. No one could ever live up to that pressure. So for these messages, to me, they're all kind of similar. They're all kind of pointing to the same thing. You may have centered your world around this person and a union because you believed you needed this person. You believed you needed this love to be proved to you outside of yourself from someone else in order to feel good enough. And so it became this life or death situation. It became really intense. You felt like you really needed this, and that energy of need, that belief in need, is the vibration of fear. It's a belief that you don't have what you need within yourself and you have to grab a hold of it from outside of yourself. So it's a belief in lack. And you know, whatever we believe is what we receive. Whatever we believe is what we manifest. So if you were believing in lack and you were trying to grab a hold of it, then that lack is what you were manifesting more of. You were seeing more of this lack. You were seeing more of this person running away. So this is saying you need to, you know, not center your world around this person or anyone else. Like, don't believe that your sense of worth is dependent upon anyone else. No one outside of yourself has any authority, whether they tell you themselves or whether you believe within yourself that this person has the authority to determine whether you're good enough. You know, no one outside of yourself has that authority. It's all down to you. Do you believe in your own worth? So I feel this person walked away because, or your connection just moved apart because, you know, things weren't grounding. You both may have kind of got used to having each other in some kind of dynamic, but it wasn't fully grounded, and therefore a lot of fantasies. You know, there was a lot of time for thinking or overthinking things, and that led to a lot of fantasies and hopes and dreams and things like that. And I feel like it built up to be, you know, because they've put, no one could ever live up to that pressure. So there was a lot of pressure put into this, you know, centering each other's lives around the other person and the relationship, and having so much time to overthink things, and then, you know, think on a deep level, another layer of it being, this person's going to heal all of my childhood wounds, and then you begin to think that that's what that person should do for you, and then it becomes a load of shoulds. This person should be doing this, they should be doing that. You think that they owe it to you, and it's all this fear vibration, and it becomes very complicated and messy, and That's why this Tower moment happened. There was a lack of just going with the flow, you know? There was a lot of like intense emotions, an intense soul contract, an intense lesson that had to play out here. Because what your soul feels is more important, or knows is more important, is your own vibration. What you learn from this experience, rather than being together. This, you know, your soul, the universe doesn't want you to be with this person if it means you're going to keep just being codependent and thinking your worth is dependent upon the other person still being there for you. Because that does not bring inner peace. That does not bring enlightenment. It blocks that. So Ace of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this is like a lack of victory. This person wanted to be with you. They wanted to cut the ties to all these complications. They wanted things to become much more easily. They wanted things to flow more easily. Basically, they wanted that alignment to happen naturally, but it just wasn't. Because there was all these thoughts. Swords are about mind and perception. There was all these thoughts. Eight of Swords in reverse that were keeping you both stuck. You know, then you may have been looking at each other's social media and, you know, playing devil's advocate, is that the word? Or Russian roulette, you know. One day you might view something on their social media and it makes you feel really good, really uplifted. Then you may see something that makes you feel more like a Tower moment, or feeling like it's a betrayal. And, you know, everything gets heightened in the mind. The mind overthinks things. It creates like this storm. The mind created this energy of this chaos. And that's what created a Tower moment. But it had to happen. The 10. So this is in reverse. So this Tower moment has led to the breakdown of all that mental chaos. Basically, for some of you, your biggest fear came true. You felt stabbed in the back. You finally had to go through that pain that you were trying to avoid for so long. And when you finally went through the pain, it wasn't as bad as what you thought, and you came out the other side of it. You know, once you face the fears, it dissipates. You're no longer as fearful anymore because the worst case scenario already happened. Some of you may have been holding on for dear life for so long, and when the Tower moment happened, you were just like, sod this, I'm letting go, I can't be bothered anymore. You just felt totally exasperated. But that is what caused you to truly surrender, to let go. And that's when these realizations of your own worth came in. 10 of Cups. For some of you, after believing that there was a loss here, some of you, you know, it was the loss of the ego. It felt like a loss of this relationship. But because it's a deep soul connection, it's infinite. And so some of you have awakened to the true unconditional love, even if that means you're no longer holding out for being with this person in a physical, romantic relationship. You may have realized your own errors. You may have realized your own lessons here. You may have realized that it wasn't just all this person who just was deciding not to commit to you. You're realizing it was so much more than that. You're realizing a lot of the mirroring. And so, yeah, there was a loss, but it's made way for this 10 of Cups and this 2 of Cups. There's the unconditional that's awakened within your connection. In the past, the unconditional love was kept being pushed down and trapped and stuck behind the thoughts, behind the fears, behind the wounds, behind the conditions, the projections, the chaos. You know, you couldn't see clearly. You couldn't align with that unconditional love. You couldn't have that harmony within, or within the connection, or total acceptance, you know, detachment, not holding on to attachments. But you know, when you faced the biggest fear, things came crashing down. It was everything that was blocking you from realizing this person does truly love you and always has done. And just because it hasn't easily, you know, worked out into a romantic relationship, you're realizing now that it doesn't mean that this person doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that they just chose not to be with you, and that's the reason why this has all happened. You're realizing it was about an energetic dynamic, a deep lesson. So Ace of Wands, these are interesting. Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. So after the Tower moment, some of you, you know, it really changed the dynamic going on here for the better. Some of you basically stopped chasing this person. You no longer need this person in order to feel good enough. You're realizing it wasn't a rejection. It never was. And so for some of you, it's like this person's coming back into your life. There's this rapid alignment for you. There's that 10 of Cups, the 2 of Cups. For some of you, it could be you know your worth, you've gone in a new direction, and then there's these other people, these other love interests that are entering your life or already entered your life. Some of you, there may be a choice, because there's the Lovers as well, needing to make a choice. Because you've changed your vibration. You know your worth, you're much more in self-love, and so you're attracting people who can truly be there for you, whether it is this same person or whether it's someone new. And thank you so much